will not be silent. Thank you for coming in this extreme court, and we will see you on Friday, God willing. Peace and love. Thank you. One quick announcement.
And I'm just going to show how I didn't even think I was going to be able to make it. So it's like, oh my god.
Hamza, who was killed on Saturday, his father was Wael. His whole family had been targeted and killed by the Israelis. That is, his wife, his younger son, his daughter, and a grandchild were killed about a month ago. And Wael al-Naqdouk himself.
Once the dehumanisation has started, and that's what's been going on ever since the beginning of 7th of October. The truth is, this has been going on for 75 years, and it's a context that the Western media refuse to talk about. It's a context that means that they're happy to keep lying about the 7th of October when they said 1,400 were killed. Actually, it was 1,200 when they revised it. Actually, when you look at as Tim pointed out, the information coming out in the Israeli media, we hear that
Brewer is doing what she's told, which is to support Israel, to denigrate and put down everybody who questions the war and the way Israel is attacking Gaza, to make them look stupid, to stop people thinking about it, to just be as offensive and rude and to put them down in every way she can. That's her job. That's what Talk TV want her to do, because Talk TV has complete support for Israel in the war.
احنا هنا النهارده واقفين كأطباء وكصحفيين عشان لسه من كام يوم شايفين دكتور مصطفى برغوثي الدكتور العظيم الفلسطيني لما طلع على انترفيو مع جوليا على توك تي في القناة الإنجليزية. شفنا كمية سخرية واسلوب غير يعني غير ما ينفعش بصراحة لحد بالقيمة بتاعته. وفي نفس الوقت شفنا كمية ريسيزم وزينوفوبيا بشكل مهول. واحنا كأطباء بنطلع على التلفزيون نتكلم عن الوضع في غزة، وللأسف بنشوف في التلفزيون الإنجليزي كتير من الصحفيين بيعتبروا ان احنا كأننا بنتكلم طبع حماس او يعني مش كأطباء، وده وضع ما ينفعش يستمر. فاحنا واقفين هنا نوصل رسالة لتوك تي في والبروديوسرز وكل القنوات ان احنا مش هنسكت، وواقفين مع الفلسطينيين ومع اهل غزة.
Because I have been watching Talk TV's coverage and all they do is spout Israeli propaganda. And as was stated earlier, Julia Hartley-Brewer's treatment of Mustafa Barghouti was disgraceful. She's a disgrace to humanity, and not just her, but every single presenter on Talk TV do nothing but spout Israeli propaganda. They wouldn't know the truth if it jumped up and slapped their face. It's just not acceptable. And they're killing Israelis are killing the journalists, not just the journalists in Palestine, in Gaza, but the journalists' families are being targeted and exterminated in an attempt to prevent coverage. And they keep shutting off the internet so that people can't get coverage to actually show the actions that's happening in Gaza, not just in Gaza, but in the West Bank now as well.
Like Rishi Sunak's genocidal conflict of interest with emphasis, look it up, it's there, and Keir Starmer's with the funding from the Friends of Israel, Talk TV, GB News and other outlets and broadcasters funded by Israel should be held accountable for their own genocidal conflict of interest. shut down GB News, shut down these platforms. Free Palestine, ceasefire now. Thank you.
Those journalists who are killed deserve to be known about and commemorated. I'm just going to mention one name of all of them, and that is Hamza El-Dahdouh. He was a video journalist who was the latest killed last Saturday, in a car targeted and bombed by the Israelis with another journalist with him. Now, Hamza El-Dahdouh is the eldest son of Wael El-Dahdouh, who is the bureau chief of Al Jazeera in Gaza. Now, everybody here should watch Al Jazeera. I hope nobody here relies on any British station, the BBC or anyone else, for news of the war, because you will not get accurate news from any British medium. What they broadcast is propaganda, not just because it consists of lying statements, but because it doesn't do what journalists should do. What journalists should do is ask questions, especially when the people you're talking to are up to something that the public should know about. Has anybody ever asked Mark Regev a tough question? Has anybody ever asked the Israelis by what right they are able to go to unlimited lengths, killing as many people as they like in response to the attack by Hamas on the 7th of October? Today, here, we are at the headquarters of the propaganda machine, the machine that gives the government and the military cover to carry on with the appearance of popular consent. But in all these years that I've worked as a journalist, I have never known, ever, such an instance of such a difference between reality and the way that British people really think and the way that it's put across in the media.
Women of Gaza are raised to be strong, autonomous and outspoken, because that has always been our only option, whether within the walls of an open-air prison or as refugees. I grew up with an older brother who was adamant I learned self-defense, and another older brother who's always encouraging me to speak my mind regardless of my fear of losing people if I do. We are also raised to be loved, protected, taken care of, honored and valued by our men. There is no room for fickle, shallow men or women in our culture.